Okay, here we go. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ian Morris, listening to Smile, my friends. Give him a hand. Yeah, thank you, Ian. God bless you. Brilliant. Absolutely rocking it. So here we are, boys and girls. Yeah, it's Spirit Talk for the 25th of April, 2019. You're very, very welcome. Thank you for being here. We have Amy Eckmau, artist and Mayan reader. We have Joan Hewitson, dear friend here, and a very gifted lady, an artist in her own right, a wonderful spirit guide, of my journey here, Joan. Yeah, Christine Mulvihill, a brilliant medium and a great teacher and a dear friend. Teresa, you're new to the party. You're very welcome. Sean Brown, spelling her name correctly tonight, by God. Let's get that straight, Sean. God bless you. Great to have you. Rocking it. Sean's going to Sean in her Moonbird blue powdered wig outfit is going to be hosting the Veg Fest in Cork at City Hall on Saturday. Go down and support our friend Sean Brown. Dennis Mulcahy, my brother from another mother up in Dublin. God bless you, Dennis. Great to have you. Oscar is here. Patricia is here. Carl is here. Tracy is here. Yeah, boom. Waving at everybody. All right, here we go. So, my friends, it's a rockin' time on planet Earth. Claire is here. Welcome, Claire. And I'm a conscious channel and a student of consciousness and spiritual counselor and the author of one ebook and more to come. I do all these, I'm delighted to get to do these wonderful videos. Great to be here with you. So this is the idea here is I get to talk a little bit about what's happening in the world and relate it to our spiritual journey. We're going to invite you to ask some questions if you want, or make some comments if you like. Yeah, always welcoming the feedback. Feedback is the feedback. And before we know it, we'll wrap up with a little channeling here if we're not very careful. Yeah, so it's all good, clean fun. Yeah, glad to have you. Yeah, get that queued up there. So my goodness, did anyone notice a subtle rocket shift shift of energy from last weekend? Man, it was amazing. It was so powerful. I mentioned this in one of my morning prayers. I'm on at 9 to 9:30 Monday through Thursday on Facebook Live here, but I mentioned that I was just horizontal the whole weekend, and 5 or 6 other people said that they truly were wiped out as well. So it was a huge shift. We had the second full moon in Libra in a month, and that's known as a blue moon, and one of the big super moons, I guess, close to the Earth for 2019. Last Friday, Saturday, and then we had Good Friday, of course, and Passover happened right there as well, and then we had Holy Saturday, Easter Sunday, and Earth Day. And if you didn't feel the Earth move with all of that, you weren't paying attention. And of course, leading up to that, we had the fire and the destruction of the great cathedral in Paris, Notre Dame, which everyone knows means Our Lady. And I've been listening to several folks talk about that, including Patricia Cota-Robles, who gave us very much the Dan Brown version of things, which was that that Notre Dame housed the statues of the 12 apostles, and the week before the fire, the statues were removed from the cathedral, and then the fire happened, and it really was both an energetic and symbolic representation of the divine feminine, Our Lady, the goddess, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, the energy of all of that being set free from the church was sort of the message here. Yeah, between the jigs and the reels, as we say. So it was, of course, it is it's a structure 850 years old that people have traveled to see throughout the world, and it has been it's been in people's consciousness a long, long time. So the burning of Notre Dame was not an attack on the cathedral. This is Patricia Cotter-Robles again, but it was a liberating of the patriarchal domination of the divine feminine in the church. Yeah, and then the other interesting tidbit about that was that there were beehives kept on the roof of the cathedral, and miraculously all the bees survived. And of course, I didn't know this before, but reading this, it seems quite obvious. All the worker bees surround the queen, who is the head of the hive there, and the source of their social structure and all that. Very, very beautiful and very matriarchal. And the bees on top of Notre Dame all survived without quite miraculously is the word I'm looking for here. All right, so we have all this energy shifting last week. So the title that came to me for tonight was The Acceleration of Love, because it truly feels that things have deeply shifted. And for me personally, the first 3 months of this year, including even December, have been a bit challenging. But the good news is that things this spring have been lightening up considerably. And as a result of that, I have two dear friends, Joanne and Willow, who are helping me with my work and get my work out to the world. Thank you very much. We're planning our first workshop together in the UK through our friend Sarah Williams. And the link for that is on my page and on my group page, Awakened Spirits Network, both of whom are on Facebook. And if you book early, you can save €50 by getting both the workshop and a one-to-one session for €100. So please do, take advantage of that over the weekend. If you want to do me a huge favor and support what I do, I'd be very grateful for that. I'm looking forward to that. People are starting to know that it's happening, and I'm very excited about it. And there are other possibilities brewing as well, like Karen in Amsterdam and Soma and perhaps Dennis here in Dublin, and Declan, my buddy here, and Michelle to do something together in Cork. So we're all sorts of live workshops are coming together, and I'm really excited about it because it's a great way to really go deep. And what I do in a live workshop is create a safe space for everyone, a friendly space, a relaxed space, safe, loved, and supported, as my guides like to say. And then we let people talk about their own experiences of whatever challenges they have happening in life. And we begin to move and help them move from where they're at into a deeper connection to spirit throughout the day, over and over again. And before we know it, there have been tears, there's been laughter, and it isn't all just for me. So it's a great joy to get to do that work. There's a lot of healing that happens with spirit. I did a channeling this morning at the end of morning prayers, as I'm doing now every time I do morning prayers, and getting into that habit. And it's a great gift to me every time I get to do it. So I'm very grateful for that. I'm grateful for all the opportunities that are manifesting in my experience. Denmark was wonderful. Inga, who's recovering from some surgery, we're keeping you in our thoughts and prayers here, my friend. And Pauline and Libby, who are getting ready for their baby. I saw Pauline holding a baby. I thought I'd missed something. No, that was somebody else's baby. Okay, hers is still on the way, and don't want to miss that. And Joanne, my dear friend, yeah, wonderful support, wonderful angel. Joanne's made such a huge difference in my life already. And Chris, our buddy from Kentucky, Brenda, God bless you, Brenda, wonderful lady, and Suzanne Holloway, and Caroline from the north. So lots of wonderful people. Dorrit and Garth, who are in Copenhagen. Dorrit's back in Portland. Garth is still living in Copenhagen. They treated me like a king in my visit to Copenhagen. We had a lovely time, and so here I am anyway, catching back up to all the energetic shifts that are taking place in our lives. So, Kathy, you're very welcome from Nova Scotia. Good to have you. Trey, hello. So, my friends, if you have any questions about anything that you're dealing with at this point in your journey, yeah, or comments about the energetic shifts that are happening, this is your chance here to kind of step into the energy and for us to co-create something together. It is my intention Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, to do perhaps one of these every night, yeah, because I'm really wanting to get back in the groove here with things and with one-to-one sessions, particularly over the next few days. So please keep that in mind. I've done classes. Ingrid Turner and I are going to do a live double channeling tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. UK time. Yeah, and looking forward to that. Hi, Eileen. Great to have you. And Ingrid and I are co-teaching our next ministerial training beginning next month. And if you have questions about that, please reach out to me, and I will send you to bhavamission.org, BHAVA mission.org, for more information about that. But it is a 9-month program where we support the students twice a week with group and one-to-one sessions. And we've done a group here for the last 6 months, and it's been pretty amazing, my friends. Yeah, and just listening to some of the students that Ingrid had in her class before she and I started working together. Yeah, she's a wonderful teacher, and she's got great information going on. How to deal with health issues one after another. Okay, Anna Marie, good to hear from you. Let's tackle that there. Give me 1 second. And I know Mira, our friend in Ramallah, was going to jump on and ask about relationship. We're going through these, the most important thing with our health right now is, I would say, detoxing. Yeah, and that's not always easy or fun, but it is very important. We want to, so my guides say there's 3 levels of communication with Spirit every day. The first is invitation. Things are good, we're good, what would we like to do? Yeah, those are lovely days. Yeah, you are enough, you have enough, all is well, you're cruising it, yeah? Second level of interaction is challenge, which is what you're asking about, Anna Marie. Challenge is, the normal, daily routine that 90% of the world deals with, which is have a problem, solve a problem, moment's peace, start again, Health is basically about taking responsibility. It's about healing feelings of feeling unseen, unsupported, sorry for ourselves, where we've gotten unfocused or we've gotten lost in our emotions. After 30 years of healing with people one-to-one, I really know that there's always an emotional component about any ill health. I was going through my own healing crisis at the end of December and for the next few months there, and I'm about 70% recovered, I'd say, at this point, thank God. excuse me, the simple thing to do, in any situation is to give it to God for God's purpose. And how often I can remember this and how often I practice it in my life might be two different things. But when I do remember it and when I offer people to do that, things always get better. Abraham has this great technique that you look up out the window, or you go outside and you say whatever name you like. Source, I know you're here. I know you care about me. I know you're listening. I know you're focused upon me. I know you're guiding me. As Abraham talks about prayer and how to pray, and this relates directly to health and healing and manifesting, we have to learn to pray. We get to learn to pray from a place of believing, of knowing, of trusting. And of the best way to do that is by being grateful. So if you can say, thank you, God, for my healthy body. Thank you, God, for my great work experience. Thank you, God, for my abundance. Thank you, God, for my loving relationships. Thank you, God, for my joyous life. Your subconscious mind, reality, will respond to that. Source can do it with us, but it doesn't do it for us, because it only can respond by corresponding, this is Michael Beckwith, to our focus upon its true nature within us. In other words, if I stay stuck in pain, if I stay stuck in fear, if I stay stuck in any negative emotional experience, physical or mental or emotional, then I am sadly affirming over and over again that this is who I am, this is what I am, this is all that there is. If I take it as a challenge, as I was saying, either challenge or crisis is to get our attention and to motivate us, then we want to focus on, thank you, God, for the healing of my body. Thank you, God, for the blessing of my work. Thank you, God, for a good relationship in my home, etc., etc. So I hope that's helpful, Anne-Marie. Let's talk again sometime. There's Damien Nola. Good to see you. There's Willow. God bless you, my friend. Great to have you. So we're just chatting with people here. Damien, I know you're shining your light on us. God bless you, my friend. Great to have you. Christine, some really gifted people here. Oscar Agosto. Can you relate the precession of the equinox, the end of time, or the great year, Platonic year, to the shift of Earth magnetic poles and climate warming? Okay, Oscar, you've read your Drunvalo Melchizedek and Dolores Cannon. Well done, my friend. I've been hearing this for years, as have you, as have a lot of us. It could happen. Drunvalo makes a very strong case about all of that, and I love, respect, and trust Drunvalo a great deal. I think the important thing, you're welcome, Anne-Marie. I think the important thing is the higher we want to go, Oscar, the more grounded we need to be. It's good to understand these things, but it's also necessary to relate them to our daily experience. What I absolutely do know for sure, brother, is that the Schumann frequency of the Earth, the electromagnetic resonance of the Earth, continues to go up, 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 with some highs and lows, and it was quite consistent for centuries, if not longer, and since 1987, it's been moving up, and certainly since 2012, it's been moving up. So, you do have the bigger picture, as I understand it, absolutely. The precession of the equinox, of course, is how the universe moves through the greater, how the solar system moves through the greater universe, if I have that right. And, we're in a cosmic, we're in wheels within wheels. And, these are the yugas from the Hindus. Speaking of the great year, Platonic year, etc., all of that. So, by any ancient or sacred interpretation of time and space and consciousness and our place within it, this time right now, of course, is extremely unique and powerful. And if you listen to David Wilcock and his show on Gaia called Divine Wisdom, which you may be very familiar with. That is, of course, quite detailed about the 35 different ancient cultures that have predicted this solar event, this harvest of consciousness. Yeah, exactly. All the planets in our galaxy are experiencing extreme weather shifts. Rebecca reminds us that all that's true enough. So, all right, what do we do with that? Why, not only why is that happening, but what do we do with that? Well, so here's to come back to keeping it simple. As above, so below, and as within, so without. So life is a mirror, and we see our light and our darkness in our relationships. And as we grow and evolve as a soul and a spirit, we're more attracted to the light, and we're less fearful of or seduced by the darkness. And we learn, the great phrase from Carl Jung is to do the shadow work, which is to face our fears, feel our feelings, and find our freedom, as my guides say. So, all these cosmic things are happening, and we have a vehicle, this body, to come back to health here again, that is beautifully, brilliantly designed by the genius called creation and the creator to adapt and to be able to live in this extraordinarily changing environment. Patricia Cota-Robles and Ken Carey and others, of course, have talked about a shift from a carbon-based life form into a crystalline-based life form, 3D to 5D. All of us have heard this as well. So to come back to health, healing, emotions, meditation, affirmations, programming the subconscious mind, keeping a journal, being grounded, being focused every day, having a living, breathing relationship to our inner being. That's my focus, all those tools. Opening to channel, committing to a path of service, finding your passion, following your passion, finding your purpose, all these kinds of things. We want to flow these energies. We want to ground these energies. We want to integrate, is the word I'm looking for, these energies. So, we're like a bridge between heaven and earth. The earth is raising her vibration. The stars are raising their vibration. The cosmos is sending in more and more light onto the planet. We're seeing how much we can adjust to that and adapt to that. But this is where we're going, of course, into a future that is more consciously connected to our oneness with all of life and its sacred nature, and no longer in the illusion of the profane or the lost in the darkness and forgetting our light. I've been listening to a lot of Marianne Williamson, who is running for the nomination in the Democratic Party, along with 19 other people, I think, at this point, or 20, which is great. I'm a big Marianne fan. I think she's truly brilliant. I also love Bernie Sanders, and Beto is exciting, and Pete Buttigieg is exciting. I'm sure I'm not saying that right. But anyway, that's a part of our consciousness, But those of us who are over here, light workers, living in the light, meditating, praying, being of service, following our hearts, looking for inspiration, sharing that with others, living from the inside out, living from our intuition, striving to be in our higher purpose, in our integrity, in all of our actions and thoughts and words and our relationships, all of that. We're being asked to hold a really particular focus. Most of the world, most of the time, lives in the head and in the ego. This is one thing I wanted to talk about, so you kind of helped me get into it here. I hope that's helpful, Oscar. You and I could probably talk about this for quite some time. It's that's my take on it, just in passing. It's happening, and we'll see what happens next. Yeah, stay tuned. the ego, what I see happening right now is the old attachment to the ego and the old unconsciousness about the ego seems to be really slipping away for a lot of people, which is very exciting. Dr. Peebles, one of my favorite, you're very welcome, one of my favorite spirit guides, Dr. James Martin Peebles, he told me that I should act at one point, and he said, you will tear apart the very thing that you put together back into its original pieces. And I thought, wow, that's as brilliant an explanation of how to heal the ego as I've ever heard. His other statement to me was to be naked before the world. So this is me attempting to do that here, day in and day out in this way, online with everyone. And I want to talk here for a second also Brené Brown, who's a brilliant teacher, and many of you know Brené Brown. She has a brand new, like just today, documentary on Netflix, which I'm sure is going to be well worth checking out. Yeah, and thank you. Looking forward to that. But Brené Brown talks a lot about courage and vulnerability, and this is what I want to say, that you know, to act, to sing, to write, to channel, to counsel, you know, all of the things that I get to do a lot of in my life these days, which I'm truly deeply grateful for, give me opportunities over and over again to see things from a different perspective, and to get out of the way, as Ingrid and I like to say. Channeling is very simple. Just get out of the way. Good. Thank you, Anna Marie. Great, Rebecca. Thank you. So, you know, Neil Walsh says we are God in Conversations with God from Neil Walsh says we are our thoughts, our words, and our actions, and it's not really any more mysterious than that. And there's Joanne. Good morning. Good evening. Hi, my friend. Joanne and Willow are here. Yes, the party is fully started. The book 4, if you want to read an amazing book, check out Conversations with God, book 4. It's Awakening the Species. Yes, that's the one that's happening right now. So I'm saying here again, the shift that we experienced over the last week, and this next chapter that we're moving into right here and right now, between now and the summer solstice, the spring of 2019, is just amazingly powerful. And it really does feel to be a gathering of teachers and a raising of people's consciousness about our gifts and abilities, and to support each other and help each other and uplift each other, etc. The only enemy of that, the only resistance to that, of course, is, as I was saying, the ego. And you know, that's one of the things that I have worked with a lot in my own journey here, as I say. And one of the things I get to do a lot of work with people to help them to heal. Some of our students in Bava have had huge breakthroughs around becoming self-empowered and disconnected from codependence and things like this. So, I mean, it's, as I've said, right now it's a trickle, this shift of consciousness. And at some point, probably before 2020 happens, it will be a stream. And then as we move into this next whole cycle of energy, 2020 and beyond, it will be a flood. And we're doing all this, my guides say 3 steps over and over again. Activation, that's what we just experienced last weekend. Last weekend was a huge and powerful activation of all of those energies together. The full moon, Good Friday, Passover, Easter, Earth Day, kaboom, 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 and all of that after the raising of Notre Dame, and the freeing of the divine feminine from the patriarchy of the church. So what I wanted to say here, Patricia Cota-Robles in her channeling talks about really take time now to integrate these new energies, and that's why I really wanted to get on tonight, so that we could take time and make space for peace as often and as deeply as possible. I hear you, Rebecca. So let's talk about the divine feminine for a minute here. Miguel Dean and myself and Damien and Will and many others, we're going to be doing an event in Glastonbury for the summer solstice, June 20th through the 23rd, and we're all students of the divine feminine. So my guides say she's magnetic and irresistible. And in my own awakening experiences, one or two at this point, the heart just opens up, my friends. It just explodes like an orgasm of light and love, and there's you just surrender to it. So this is also what I want to talk about. People have this common misunderstanding about the term surrender on the spiritual path. It doesn't mean that you're passive. It doesn't mean that you don't care. It doesn't mean that you don't take responsibility for your part of life. You do all of those things. The surrender process, to be in the world but not of it, thank you, Spirit. The surrender process is getting out of the way and knowing that help is available. Sometimes we get to ask each other for that help. Sometimes we ask God for that help. Sometimes we don't ask for help and things get worse. Invitation, challenge, and crisis are, once again, the three different levels, thank you, Damien, the three different levels of our surrender. Yeah, that's another way to look at it. When we are answering the invitation, we're in the moment, we're in the flow, we're in the groove, we're tuned in, tapped in, turned on. We are surrendered to life and our place in it. And it's always coming and going. It's never permanent. It's like riding your bicycle. That's my favorite analogy. And when challenge comes up, then we draw on whatever resources we believe we have. Like my brother Oscar here asking about the changes in the cosmos, the cosmic changes that are affecting life on Earth. That's why there's climate change, of course. It isn't just the carbon dioxide, it's the raising of the vibration of the whole solar system, which NASA and all scientists know is happening on every planet. And I don't think there's too many SUVs on Jupiter, to quote somebody, But life is sacred. Life is a gift. We're living in a time of unprecedented awakening, healing, and growth. And the opportunity to grow and to heal and to free ourselves from illusions of separation from this and other lifetimes is pretty huge, my friends, and it's only going to get bigger, only going to get clearer. So once again, coming down the home stretch here, if you meditate with open meditation or guided meditation once or twice a day, that is the very best way and the quickest way you can learn to tune in to your inner guidance. If you, on top of meditation, if you pray or use affirmations like the great Louise Hay or Florence Scovel Shinn or Joseph Murphy or Neville Goddard or Wayne Dyer or James Twyman, etc., if you work with keeping your mind focused, then you start to direct the energy of your thought in a particular way that is constructive, and then you think your thoughts rather than your thoughts thinking you. And the third part of that is keeping a journal. What's the joke? If you meditate for a half an hour a day, that's wonderful. If you don't have time to meditate for half an hour a day, you should meditate for an hour a day. Prayer is the same, and journaling is the same. I can't tell you how many times I have talked with clients and friends on the path, and if they will do those three things, which I do every day, 99% of my life here, then it keeps bringing me back to center. It keeps bringing me back to listening, trusting, and following my inner guidance, and it keeps helping me to learn how to tune in and learn where to go when I need to tune in. So, all right, the ego is changing, the earth is changing, the culture and society is changing because of the rebirth, the release, the return of the goddess, of the divine feminine, etc., etc. So politically, the world is in great turmoil and chaos. Chaos precedes change, so you can be sure that more change is coming to every area of our life. There's a new documentary about all the women who ran for Congress in the midterms on Netflix with Ocasio-Cortez and many others there, called Rock the House, which looks great. That just dropped today. So honestly, know that, you're drawn to, what I have to share with you, and moments like this, because you're, of course, on this path of awakening, healing, growth, service, inspiration, the raising of your vibration, the raising of your energy, and you are, a student, which means you're a teacher in training, just like me, and you teach what you need to learn. What you share, you get more of. What you are passionate about, that is your purpose. The heart knows what the mind struggles to believe. These are the truths, the spiritual principles, the ideals that I strive to practice every day. And when we have times like this, the energy really starts to come through all of us. Deep calls unto deep, like attracts like, as we say. And we're co-creating this moment here together. And the world needs these ideas. My guides say people can't make a choice if they don't see that there is a choice. And, Lazarus, my teacher of 30 years, calls us the map makers. And that, we're here to be at the end of one world, one level of consciousness, one, expression of human civilization. And guess what? The beginning of another one. And I've said before, I'll say again, Lazarus has told us that this is the culminating year of the last 30 years. Jesus, as we say in Ireland. So if that isn't freaking huge, and if that doesn't get my full attention, because this whole thing began for me 32 years ago with my awakening during the harmonic convergence. So there's really a graduation that's happening this year, is what I'm wanting to say. And to all my dear friends and fellow teachers on this path, some of whom are here tonight, Damien Nola, recommend him. Christine Mulvihill, recommend her. If there's anyone I'm leaving out here, just wave. There are so many great, of course, Inga is here. She's a very gifted channel and medium. There are so many ways to take the next step on this journey at this time. Spring, of course, is the light in the northern hemisphere. It's the days are getting longer, thank God. Always a great moment. And I need to buy less firewood. That's a joy. It's life is springing forth, and so again, there's a lot of coming together, a lot of recognizing each other, a lot of new group energy. I'm certainly blessed to be a part of all of that, as I've said here, with so many new friends and deepening connections with old friends. So, I hope you truly feel hopeful and inspired and glad to be here, and that life does not wear you down or wear you out, and the world and the culture of the world particularly does not numb you out or overwhelm you. And if you need inspiration, of course, look to the children. My friends who are moms and dads, they know this. The kids that are coming up in the world right now, yes, they have some gigantic problems to solve, some of which we are leaving right on their laps at the moment. We hope that all that is going to get better shortly here. Absolutely, I believe that. But they also have tremendous gifts, talents, and abilities. And as my guides say, we need to learn to build a bridge and get over ourselves. So, my job description is to be God's holy fool and to have fun with it all and to laugh about it and be a stand-up philosopher and share my perspective for what it's worth and invite you to do the same. Yeah? So with that, I think we'll leave that there for the moment and we'll close with a little channeling. And I'm so grateful to you. If you like what I do, you're always invited to make a donation to my PayPal or book a one-to-one session with me. And I have a 50-page ebook that I'd be glad to send anyone who wants a copy of that. And I'm really beating the drum here for one-to-one sessions over the weekend. So for the next 4 days, I'd be glad to do an hour-long session for €50. How's that for a spring treat, yeah? So, and those are recorded, and that's usually by Skype or Zoom, and I send you the recording afterwards. So, from my heart to yours, thank you. I hope that's helpful. Let's do a little light work here together before we finish up. Go ahead and close your eyes and take a deep breath. And don't forget, Ingrid and I will be on tomorrow, 4:30, with the live channeling. Okay, here we go. Take a deep breath. Right, God bless you, dear friends. Oh, sit up nice and straight. Take another deep breath. Relax and release. Turning within. Relax and release. Relax and release. Dear friends, when you finish your life experience in this reality and you let go of the earth, the body, and the mind, you're going to be quite amazed to realize that this was a temporary experience in your eternal journey in spirit. We know that this world feels so real with its physicality. And we know that in that physicality and in that world that you've experienced, sometimes it feels quite challenging and quite difficult. And sometimes, dear friends, you're under the misapprehension that you've been abandoned or forgotten, or that you're all alone in this world. We're here to remind you of what your heart knows, that you are never alone, that you are always cared for and cared about, and that help, love, guidance, healing, and all that your heart desires is always available to you. Take a deep breath. So, dear friends, in moments like this, where two or more come together, you are a bridge between heaven and earth. You are the doorway between that which you've understood as your past and that which you dream of and hope for as your future. Dear friends, we'll borrow a quote here from Alice Walker, who says, "The most common way people give their power away is by believing they don't have any." Dear friends, you are powerful spiritual beings. And this is that time in your soul's journey when you are being called upon to stand in your power. Dear friends, to stand in your truth, to love life and let life guide you, to let the guidance of your life lead you and bring you forward into a time of tremendous celebration and tremendous creation. Dear friends, whether you have perfect health every day of your life or you've been struggling with health frequently in your life, whether you are abundant and prosperous and successful, or whether that seems all too often out of reach for you, whether you have known great love and great happiness, or whether you feel that you have been living a solitary existence. Dear friends, they are all truly choices that you have, for whatever good reason, given yourself permission to make. To live in the world but not of the world, dear friends, does not mean to turn your back on the world, but means rather to walk into the world with all of its choices and all of its challenges, and to find your way. The best way to do that, dear friends, the easiest way to do that, the deepest way to know that, dear friends, is by understanding that you are safe, loved, and supported, and that all is inherently, intrinsically, and eternally well for you and those that you love. Take a deep breath. That which no longer serves you is what we invite you to now and at any moment you choose. Lift up, forgive, take responsibility for your part of it and in it, and let it go. Take a deep breath. In peace is the presence of infinite possibilities. Presence is a powerful word, a beautiful reminder that in your open heart and in your quiet mind, so the world begins again. Dear friends, for blessing, beyond forgiveness, blessing is the energy of now loving everyone in your life, loving everything in your life, taking joyous responsibility for the creation of your life, and calling forth more of what your heart truly yearns for. Take a deep breath. Step 1 is forgiving yourself and others, lifting it up, letting it go. Step 2 is blessing that which has been, that which is yet to be. Dear friends, step 3 is surrender to that which you do not yet understand, to that which you do not yet believe, to that which you do not yet know. Dear friends, when you have forgiven, when you have blessed, when you have surrendered, then truly miracles will be your experience. Surrender to who? To what? Dear friends, to what is for you, to what life holds for you and never from you, dear friends, to that which your heart has yearned for and worked for and wept for. Dear friends, all the love in the universe, all the joy of being alive, all the success, freedom, and abundance, the adventure, the excitement, the creativity, the happiness, the love that your heart holds for you is available through you, and this is how it comes to you. You must be willing to give to yourself what you're wanting life to give to you. We know in your world sometimes there are great challenges and crises. We know also, dear friends, who you really are, that you are more than you have imagined possible, that you are more than you have dared to believe. As our friend Marianne Williamson has said here, dear friends, it's not the darkness that scares people. It's how bright and beautiful is your light. Dear ones, we love you so. Shine your light and share your love. Forgive yourself and others. Bless your life and bless the others in your life. And surrender to that which you are yet to discover, a dream coming true. Peace and blessings. Namaste. Let waves of love and waves of light pour forth from your heart, from your hands, from your forehead. Let soul and spirit step into you and attune you and align you and broadcast a song of joy for yourself, your family and friends, and the whole wide world. Take a deep breath. Blessing the earth, the minerals, the plants, the animals. Blessing the elements, earth, air, fire, water, ether, and blessing humanity. Dear friends, you're at the cusp of a wave, and what is ahead is magnificent. Be at peace. We will meet again. Peace and blessings. Namaste. Thank you. God bless you.